Hello everyone, welcome to my online classroom, and in this video we are going to discuss about the class 9th history chapter 3rd, Nazism and the rise of Hitler. So in this chapter we are going to discuss through by a flow chart which is mentioned here. As you can see, all the important headings of the chapter I have mentioned here, and the important highlighted words, the capital letters words which I have mentioned here, they are all are the main headings of this chapter, and under this whatever subheadings we have, that is mentioned by A, B, C like points wise. And here the whole flow chart is here, and by this we are going to understand the main content of this chapter which we have to prepare and which you have to learn, which you have to understand for your exam purpose. Even some questions, important questions also I have mentioned here, which will be very helpful to you for your exam. So let's start this whole discussion of this chapter, the main headings of this chapter. So first of all we have the introduction, and under the introduction of course we are going to read that in this chapter we will study or read about the rise of new ideology in Germany known as Nazism. We will study its rise, causes of its rise and its results. An effort will be made to show how this ideology created a commotion in the world in the first half of the 20th century. Next heading we have, what do you mean by Nazism? So of course the chapter name is Nazism, is going to be started by the name Nazism. So here it is very important to understand what it means. So the fascist philosophy and the dictatorial government as was established in Germany by Hitler soon after the First World War is known as Nazism. Next is here, next main heading we have chief features of Nazism or Nazi thinking. So there is some chief features of Nazism we have, just like the state. According to the Nazism, the state is above all. All powers should be vested in the state. People exist for the state, not the state for the people. It was in favor of ending all types of parliamentary institutions and glorified the rule of a great leader. It was in favor of rooting out liberalism, socialism and communism. It praised hatred for the Jews who were responsible for the economic misery of the Germans. So these are the important points which we are going to read in under these key features of Nazism or Nazi thinking. Next we have the causes of the rise in popularity in the Nazism in Germany. So under this we have some subheadings just like the Cumulative Treaty of Versailles. Next we have economic crisis. Next we have spread of communism, making the best use of party strife. Next we have Germany had no faith in democracy. Next we have the volunteer corps, and last we have personality of Hitler. So these all subheadings are responsible, or these all subheadings are coming under the causes of the rise and popularity of Nazism in Germany. As we very well know that history chapter, they are very lengthy chapter, so we are going to divide this chapter in three parts, like the causes, like the effects, main events and the results, and that impact of this thing on that country, particular country, as well as on the world. Just like already I had explained in my previous videos of the French Revolution and the Russian Revolution. So if you have not watched those videos, so please watch it. So now next heading we have the consequences of the rise of Nazism. So what are the reasons are behind of that? Because there is a rise of Nazism, especially in the Germany. So that we are going to be read. Next we have the Peace Treaty of Versailles and it's leading to the rise of Nazism in Germany. So how this Versailles, the Treaty of Versailles, is be responsible for the leading the rise of Nazism in Germany. Under this heading we are going to read. Next we have the Weimar Republic. So what is the role played by the Weimar Republic in this Nazism? So that is the main content here. Next we have rise of Hitler. So about the early life of Hitler and rise of Nazi party, we are going to read about this. Hitler's home policy. What do you mean by the Hitler's home policy? That it is with an important topic, and here some headings are with their national unity. As we know that Hitler was a great supporter of national unity. With this thing in view, he abolished both the Reichstag and the separative provincial government so as to set up a powerful central government. The basis of his administration was one party, one leader and well-disciplined administration. He adopted the old flag of Germany. In this way, he brought about the national unity by establishing the autocratic rule of the Nazi party. He used to say, the National Socialist Party is the state. After that, we have the suppression of the opposition to the people, those who were oppressing the Nazi party and the theory and the principles of the Hitler. To those people were being strictly suppressed by the Hitler. So here Hitler suppressed the opposition with a firm hand. Many restrictions were imposed on the opposition parties and they were prohibited from spreading their ideology. The government had complete control over the press, the radio and the educational institutions. Hitler organized a police force from his volunteer corps known as the Stormy Troops. So that you have to be remember, over 1 mark they can be asked that the corps, the volunteer corps of or the police force of Hitler known by which name? So they were known by the Stormy Troops. After that, economic reforms, what kind of economic reforms done by the Hitler to make it strong, his home policy? So that is related to, like, there was a great economic crisis in Germany after the war. So in order to meet this situation, Hitler set up factories and started reconstruction works to provide work to workmen of his country. Many acts were passed to improve the condition of the workers. He also took steps to promote trade. Thus, the Nazi government strictly supervised the whole economy of the country to gain self-sufficiency. Even in the terms of the education also, he set up such a system of education as to produce strong supporters of Nazism. Education was given according to the principles of Nazism. The chief task of the schools was to prepare the youth for the service of the country. So in the syllabus of the students in education field also, main points of the Nazism was be taught in the classroom. In syllabus it was be included. And next we have the fifth, increasing the military power for any country. If you want to make any country strong, so it is very important to increase the military power. So here also the military power of Germany had been reduced by the Treaty of Versailles, but Hitler wanted to make Germany a powerful country of the world. So because of this, he neglected the Treaty of Versailles, because in the Treaty of Versailles it was clearly mentioned that Germany cannot increase its military power. But due to Hitler, he was against of that treaty and he was totally neglected that Treaty of Versailles and increased the number of German soldiers. The war material, ships and aeroplanes were produced at a quick speed. Next we have the religious policy. So related to religious policy also, Hitler wanted to have a complete control over the church. His Nazism could have no union with religion, so the Protestants and the Catholics alike opposed his policy. Thus there arose a conflict between the church and the state, but Hitler tried to suppress the different religious groups. Next we have the foreign policy. Just like the home policy is be there, in the same way foreign policy of Hitler was also be mentioned. Like the main objective was his foreign policy was to do away with the evil effects of the humiliating Treaty of Versailles. He wanted to make Germany a great power of Europe, increase her military power, and to restore her old prestige. So these were the main points and the main aim of the under which it is becoming under the foreign policy of Hitler. Next we have the Second World War and the Germany. So what is the role played by the Germany in the Second World War, that we are going to discuss under this main heading. So here first of all we have the early conquest of Germany and German Empire in 1942. Second we have establishment of Second Front. So related to Second Front, many of the time question is coming. So what do you mean by the Second Front? That is the important. Just like it is since 1942 in Europe, the most disastrous battle had been fought between Germany and Russia on the Eastern Front. In 1944, American and British troops numbering between 1 lakh and 2 lakh landed on the coast of Normandy in France and opened another front. So this new front, this new wave is known as the Second Front. Alright. So now Germany had to fight on many fronts. The opening of the so-called Second Front has stemmed her fall. Next we have the US entry into the war. How US entry into the war. That is also a special, a very important story behind of that, which we are going to read in this chapter. Next we have the Battle of Stalingrad. So of course the Battle of Stalingrad also played a very important role in this whole about the Germany case, that how the Second World War is related to with the Germany. So that the battle is very important here. The most fierce battle was fought at Stalingrad, which lasted for 5 months, and between 1942 to 43 AD. This battle involved about 2,000 tanks, 2,000 aeroplanes and about 2 million men. So that's why Stalingrad battle is very important. Next we have the end of the war, which is in 1945. So 1939 to 1945, total 6-year war. After that we have the racial discrimination against the Jews. How because the Nazism main under this main principle of the Nazism, we had already read about that, and Hitler under this Nazism theory, they preached to hate against the Jews. So that is we mentioned here, what kind of propaganda they used against the Jews, which proved quite successful in creating hatred for the Jews. So that is the main important points here. After that, we had the attempts made by Nazi state to establish control over the people. What kind of the steps took by the Nazi state to control over the people? Like all the opposition was suppressed with an iron hand. All political parties except the Nazi party were banned. Germany was a police state. He set a network of spies throughout the country to keep an eye on his opponents. Thousands of socialists, communists and dissenters were sent to concentration camps where they suffered many atrocities at the hands of the states. So even radio, newspaper, press, magazines, books, theaters were all well controlled and supervised by the government. So without the permission of the government, without the permission of the Nazis, they cannot publish anything. Even next is the nature of the Nazi rule. What is the nature of the Nazi rule? So of course the nature was not be impressed or is not going to be attracted to the common public. Many of the people, they were facing the problem because for this, especially for the Jews and the people, those who not obeying the orders of the Nazi rule, they were not following and they are going to criticize. So of course they were getting the punishment. They were killed at the concentration camps. These camps were made for only to punish them. A large number of persons were killed in gas chambers by the use of poisonous gas. So in this way, the nature of the Nazi rule was not be counted as a good one. Next, we have the important questions related to this flowchart, related to this chapter. Let's take the first. It is given what do you mean by Nazism. Write down the main principles of Nazism. Question number 3, we have mentioned the important causes of the rise and popularity of Nazism in Germany. Next, question number 4, we have write something about the personality of Hitler. Question number 5 is here, explain peace treaty of Versailles. Question number 6 here, describe the Hitler's home and foreign policy. Question number 7 is here, what do you mean by the second front in the Second World War? Question number 8, we have, why did USA enter in the Second World War? Question number 9, describe the problems faced by the Weimar Republic. And question number 10, we have discussed the importance of the Battle of Stalingrad in the Second World War. So after this, reading this chapter line to line, it is very important to read this chapter line to line because in board examination, the questions are coming from the mid of the chapter. So knowledge is very important related to each and every line. So in this way, these questions, you will get the answers of this question when we are going to read this whole chapter. So in this way, we have completed this chapter, the main headings, that what main content you have to prepare for exam. So now thank you everyone, and please like, share and subscribe this channel for more updates.